Shanti, brother. How are you?
Om Shanti, brother.
Hmm.
I'm fine. How about you?
Yeah, very fine, brother. Very happy to do Avik Murli with you for the first time in English. So let's jump to the Avik Murli dated 19/7/1969. So the title of the Murli is Become Zero and Hero. Why have you called Baba today? In order to make us powerful. If you have called Baba to make you powerful, in what aspect do you feel there is a lack of power? In which special aspect do you wish to be made powerful? How will you make service powerful? You have to check how powerful you have made yourself. All of you are called Shiv Shaktis. So, do the Shiva Shaktis already have power or are they still becoming the embodiment of power? Bab-Dada has come to see which ornaments are ready to decorate Bab-Dada's world. Now the ornaments are ready, but what happens to that which is ready? It is then polished. Now it just remains to be polished. The main thing that has to be polished is just this. Everyone has to create extra time for staying in the awake stage for a longer period. Only the polish of the awake stage now remains. While talking to one another, see each other as souls. While being in the body, see the soul. This is the first lesson which is now essential. In order to put all the things of Dharna that you have heard about in your life, you have to make this first lesson firm. The practical stage of the vision of soul consciousness is still lacking. For greater success in service, the main method is just this: to do service in soul consciousness. The first lesson has to be polished. This is essential. Have you ever noted for how long you maintain the vision and awareness of soul consciousness throughout the day? You can perceive the result of this stage through the result of your service. This stage is like a flame. Moths are drawn to a flame against their conscious wish. All of you are teachers, but what else have you come to become in this bhatti? All of you think too much, but it is very easy. You have been called here to make you the same as Baba is. To make you the same as Baba means to make you into a zero. A seed and a point are included in a zero. And together with that, when any task is carried out, you have to add a zero after. So you have been called here specially to be reminded of a zero. The form of a teacher is large, but Baba has come to make you very small from being large. The smallest form of all is the form of the Father and of yourselves. So when you remember the zero, you will become a hero. A hero is an actor as well as someone loved by Pop Dada. A diamond in Hindi is called a hera, and a main actor is called hero. So now do you understand why you have been called here? You have been called here to remember just two words: zero and hero. So we can see the rest later. So let's discuss about this, brother. What do you think about what Baba has said so far?
Baba has given a clear
Mm,
indication, clear message that, and also, you know, clear message on body consciousness and soul consciousness here.
mm,
So, and he's also asking his children to differentiate between body consciousness and soul consciousness. So, to become soul consciousness. Um, so, before that, he says that this is the first lesson is very much essential. So, what does that he mean by that? This is the first lesson, which is now essential. That means everyone has to create extra time for staying in the avyakt stage for a longer period. Only the so this is important point. Everyone has to create extra time for staying in the avyakt stage for a longer period. And this is the first lesson, which is now essential. This indicates the soul consciousness actually. So only if you are in soul consciousness, in soul consciousness, um, I mean, what I can say is that, uh, yes, only if you are in soul consciousness, you can, he's asking a lot of questions before that, before becoming a soul consciousness. Especially with respect to service. So he's emphasizing the service in soul consciousness, actually, not in body consciousness. So he says that all of us are Shiv Saktis. That is right. And the ornaments are ready. And, that they are decorated. But what happens to that which is ready? So now it is then polished, actually. So
And
it remains
also,
polished.
and also in the beginning, Baba starts with questions. Why have you called me today? To make you powerful. So he's like a surgeon. Why have you come here? What's the problem? I have pain. Where is the pain? Like that. I have come to become powerful. Okay. So where do you think you lack power? So
Yeah.
that's what
So
Baba asks. So that he will help us to become powerful. So in service, we lack power. In self effort, we lack power. So Baba says, uh, have you become the embodiment of power or still becoming in the process of becoming the embodiment of power? So Baba is calling us as his ornaments. It's ready, but still the final touching is yet to be accomplished. That's in avic stage continuously. So that's why he's asking us to check whether you have been soul conscious throughout the day, whether you are in avic stage throughout the day. So by being
yes,
avyakt, Baba means you should be free from everything of this world. So avyakt stage usually the subtle body is in the avyakt region, but it is only when you don't remember anything you will be able to go there. I just see a Ramayana serial in which Narad, after doing intense tapasya, he becomes very happy that he has conquered lust. He even goes to Narayan and says, I have conquered lust. Nobody can even shake me. Ramayana says, okay, I'm very happy for you. Then he is called the Trilok Sanchari. So he always goes through the three worlds all the time within a second. So while he
right.
was going through the subtle region, he's seeing a golden palace and he's seeing a beautiful girl, which makes him come down. Which means when we are in subtle region, if we are reminded of something that is limited about our family, about our work, then we are coming down. So that's why Baba says, how long you are able to be there constantly without coming down? Have you ever checked? So because if you are there, your only duty is to spread the power of purity and peace all the time, spreading the vibrations. So only when you are free from your limited family and everything limited in this world, you will be in the unlimited, considering everybody, no matter what religion they belong to, what race or color they belong to, you will consider them to be your brother. So that's why Baba says, see each other as soul. That's the first lesson that you need to make firm. So, how do you know about your stage? By seeing the success in your service. So, if you are able to achieve success very easily, then you can be sure that you are in awake stage for a long time. So, that's why Baba says to make this first lesson very firm. Uh, so, your stage should be like when in the darkness a lamp is lit, moths will automatically be attracted towards the flame without even their conscious wish. Whether they want to go or not, automatically they will go towards the light. Likewise, your stage should be like that, that people should be drawn towards you against their own wish. So that's what being powerful means. That's why you have come to this bhatti. So thinking about knowledge is easy, but being the embodiment of knowledge is something that needs effort and time. So that's why Baba says, be a zero. Zero means nothing. I'm nothing, just a point of light. But in that nothing, everything is merged. So I'm a seed. So in this zero, being a zero, so when you don't have a body, when you don't identify yourself with the body and everything that's associated with the body, that's when you consider yourself to be powerful. You will no longer be attracted by any external attraction. You will not be attracted by any vices. That's when you become a true hero. That's why Baba says, being a zero is becoming a true hero, and also true hera, which is diamond in Hindi. So that's what Baba says. And what you would like to add, brother? Okay.
Brother,
Mm.
actually, you have beautifully narrated the Baba's divine message, and clearly explained um, what Baba actually wants to convey, and what he wants his children to prioritize,
Mm.
and um, and with examples, and so I think you know the message is very clear that and I mean you have to be a zero. It's not about knowing that you are a zero. It's not about understanding that you are a zero. It's about realizing that you are a point of light.
And being point of light.
And yeah,
Yeah.
and
Being is
stay
essential.
in that
Yes.
stage.
Yes.
And once we continue to stay in that stage, probably one day it may take some, say, for example, I'm just, hypothetically speaking, I'm just saying, say, 5 minutes. Probably the next day we can try for another 5 minutes. So, of course, there'll be a lot of, because since this is Kali Yuga, there'll be lots and lots of distractions, and there is absolutely nothing is going to stop the distractions. It's only what you can stop your own. I mean, I can stop my, my thoughts from all these distractions actually.
That's
But still, there will be that there will be definitely, as you said, Narda is a Trilok Sanchari, and he keeps traveling around the three worlds, and uh, so he said to Narayan, there is a story also. He told Narayan that, I've conquered lust, and, so I won the lust and all those things. So, and also, there is an extension to that particular story. He found a girl, and he wanted to marry that girl. So, Narayan said, "Yes, I'll help you." When Narada asked Narayan that, "Can you help me? That I want to marry that girl, and she has to choose only me." That is Hari, actually. So, yes, okay, he will choose only Hari, and I will be that Hari actually. So actually, Hari means to, I mean, in Sanskrit, there are two meanings. One is monkey, the other one is the Narayan actually. So the in the story it goes like that. Finally, he gets the face of a monkey actually.
monkey. Yeah.
So because Hari has got two meanings actually.
Mm.
So okay, setting aside that apart,
Mm.
here Baba clearly defines that. We have to understand that uh, we have to realize that we are an actual point of light, and we have to stay in that stage continuously. I mean, continuously, there is a one more term after continuously, that is continually actually. Continually, that is in starts with instantaneously. It's something like, if there is a beautiful song, it gets instantaneously infectious. So
Mm.
everybody, sings that song, and it becomes a mega hit actually.
Yes.
So like that, it starts with an instant. Okay, we know that, we understand, and we are at a point of light. And then what we have to do is we need to keep, you know, considering all factors like, Baba's message, reading, and especially Murali first, then the wisdom that he gives daily, and keep churning on that particular wisdom. And even if somebody comes in front of us, okay, uh, I'm speaking to a soul. Yes, I'm answering to him. I'm answering to his questions, but my thoughts are with my father actually. My thoughts are with my Holy Father, and who is a point of light? Because I am a point of light. I'm speaking to a point of light. Though I'm answering his questions, or what are the discussion that I'm happening, I mean, within us, but still my thoughts are should not be somewhere with this worldly, related stuff. Actually, it should not be associated with any of this worldly stuff. It should be associated with that only Supreme Soul, and who is in his heavenly board actually. So when we keep practicing this, so actually he himself is saying, have you already become, or you are in
Process
the
of
stage of becoming, in that
becoming.
stage actually.
Mm.
So I think this uh, this, uh, this is something, a practice that we have to keep doing, and continuously. If we do,
Mm.
there will be a stage at one point of time that you get into, see whether it's even in worldly stuff. People say, if you get into something, whether it's a good habit or bad habit, if you
Mm.
continue to do that, you get addicted to that actually,
That's true.
without your knowledge, and without your permission, you automatically do that actually. So if we keep practicing that, so what happens automatically, when we speak to someone, when we think of someone, or when we write something, whatever it is, we'll always, you know, think of Baba's abode, and we'll see the point of light, the Supreme Soul, actually. If we keep practicing this, it will automatically come to you, whether you walk, whether you talk, whether you do something, or whether you. So your focus will be on that. So and even if somebody somebody scolds you, or somebody yell at you, or someone say something, it won't be a big thing for you actually. It will be like you, because you are thinking of your father, and you realize that, and that will be the, if you are thinking of your father, and that's going to help you, that you are you are you are not a perishable body. I mean, you are the actual soul and not a perishable body. And even if someone says something, that's not going to hit me, that's not going to hurt me, and that's not going to, because if somebody says something and I'll answer them politely, okay, and i- only if I take it, it'll hurt me. If I don't take it, see, for example, if somebody is giving 10 rupees to me, if I take the 10 rupees, then it belongs to me. If I don't take the 10 rupees, I have nothing in my hand. It is still with them, right? So what it is applicable everywhere. It could be happiness, it could be hurt, or whatever it is. If I don't take, if I just act as a witness, actually. So, and if I look at everything as a witness, and okay, whatever is happening is as per is you know the drama, the divine drama, Baba says, right? So we just have to see this as a, so that will help you in one way, looking at everything, whatever is happening around you, whoever you meet, whoever you talk to, and whoever comes to your connection actually. So that gives you some different level of knowledge to realize that. Will also see there are many drivers, key drivers to help you realize that you are actually point of light actually.
Mm.
So this is one thing. So whatever is happening around you, I mean, that's all predestined, predefined. Nothing is new. That there is not, everything is already
Okay, brother, continue.
okay.
Mm.
So that is right, brother.
Mm.
Zero and hero, two
Mm.
words.
Mm.
So if you remember these two words, Baba
Mm.
says,
Mm.
if you remember these two words, you will become complete with all virtues like the Father. It is like the Supreme Soul. All expansion can be merged. Bab Dada is telling you about the expansion in its seed form. You may forget everything else, but you cannot forget this. Remember just this. What is that? And then see how quickly there is a change in service. It is the desire of all of you to change, and also for the time to change, so you can return to your home. And now it is a time to return to your home. Since you have the desire to return home, remember these two things. And then instead of the weaknesses, you will show wonders. The weaknesses will finish, and wherever you look and whatever you hear, you will see only wonders. So now, what will you return as from this bhakti? After all this explanation, Baba is asking, so what will you return as from this bhakti? A zero. There is nothing associated with the zero. There are no sanskars of the past. You came here to renounce something. So you have completely renounced it, or are you still taking a little of it with you? Baba is questioning. What have you renounced, and to what extent have you renounced it? You also have to see whether you have renounced it temporarily or permanently. Have you renounced it through the power of the gathering or with your own power? The power of the gathering gives you support, but you also need your own power as well as the power of gathering. Whatever you have renounced at any time, let it be renounced permanently. So these are the questions Baba is asking, and Baba is explaining to us what we have to renounce and what, and I mean, permanently, and
But just
and the power of gathering.
10 more lines are remaining. Let's finish it and come
Yeah,
to
and
explanation. Hmm.
Bab Dada has love for you, love for all of you anyway,
Hmm.
unconditional love, because the Supreme Soul is getting his work done with the help of you children, and those who are helpers in a task are always loved. But in some cases, together with being helpers, you are not courageous. You lose courage. Baba is saying, in some cases, together with being helpers, you are not courageous. You lose courage. If you maintain courage, you will definitely receive help. So this is one thing which is very important thing Baba is highlighting to every children, that if you maintain courage, you will definitely receive help. So as well as being helpers, you must also be courageous. Do not lose courage in little matters. When you are courageous, the desires of all of you will be fulfilled. Now, courage is needed. It's very much needed. How will you develop courage? By surrendering yourself at every moment, at every step, in every thought. Those who surrender themselves have greater courage. And so, the more you surrender yourselves, the more you will become, the more you will come close in the garland around Baba's neck. You now surrender yourself, and then you will become a garland around God's neck. If you surrender yourself and then perform actions, you will make others surrender automatically. They are the ones who are called heirs. So now make plans to create heirs.
Hmm.
Acha.
Super, brother. Now you can explain what do you think about this.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So so Baba says actually,
Hmm.
initially he explained. So Baba here actually what he says, what he highlights is the zero and hero. So
Hmm.
he wants us to remember these two words actually, um, so that we'll become complete with all virtues like our Father, the
Hmm.
Supreme Soul. So, so what he says is
Just by
all
remembering,
expansion.
just by remembering these two words, actually Baba is the greatest. Every religion accepts that. At the same time, he is the tiniest. So if you also become the tiniest, you will also become the greatest. So that's the actual essence of this Murli itself. So you should not associate yourself with anything and anybody. Only then you will be able to be like God in every aspect, all powerful. Go on, brother.
Yeah, true. What he
Hmm.
said is true actually.
Hmm.
And so what he says is that um, I mean, Baba is telling you about the expansion. All
Hmm.
expansion will be merged in its seed form. About the
Hmm.
expansion in its seed form.
Yes.
You may forget everything else, but you cannot forget this.
Yeah.
So now, see, he says that you have the desire to return to home. When you have the desire to return to home, you have to remember these two things. And then he says that instead of, I mean, if you remember these two things, instead of the weaknesses, you will show wonders.
Hmm.
So the
And
weaknesses, yeah. So the weaknesses will finish, will vanish. And wherever you look and whatever you hear, you will see only wonders.
Mm.
So now,
And
so
also
so
another thing is, it is from seed, it sprouts, it creates roots, it creates two leaves, then four leaves. Slow by slow, it grows into a huge tree. So
yeah.
if we consider our soul as a seed that is being planted here, so it slowly grows in golden age. Then it slowly grows without any branches. Then it has many several branches. No, I'm not speaking about the religions.
Mm.
Just our seed, our soul. So the every action is like growing of that plant. But now you are in the seed form, which means you should dissociate from everything. That's the seed form. But everything is merged there, and every act will automatically emerge at the right time. So that's why Baba says you should have neither love nor hatred to anybody. Now it's time to leave, not to get attached to anything. So that's the reason he asks us to get detached. Be a sage. Don't be a plant. Cut off all the branches. That is all attachments from your sanskars, from your relatives, from your body. That's what he mentions as seed. So all expansion is there. It is merged. So that's why Baba says, now become a seed. Then you'll automatically uh, emerge divine qualities. So it is by remembering the seed of the world tree, which is God, that we can also become a seed. So then you see how fast the service becomes. Now we are struggling a lot to make someone accept our knowledge. But if you are considering yourself just as a seed, seeing each other just as a seed, uh, then you will see how quickly he gets this knowledge, how quickly our air of knowledge passes through his heart. It doesn't
Yes.
take time at all.
Okay.
Mm.
So Baba is asking us to renounce everything, actually, and he's also questioning us. What have you? I mean, first of all, he's asking us to renounce. First of all, he's saying that you have come here to renounce something. So have you completely renounced it?
Mm.
Or you have something still left out within yourselves? Or what you have been renounced? And to what extent
Oh,
have you
okay.
renounced?
And also sorry for interruption to that. And before that, Baba says, um, you are allowed to forget everything. Actually, you should forget everything, but you should never forget that you are this seed. Because forgetting everything is Hatha Yoga. Remembering yourself is Raja Yoga. Remembering yourself and forgetting everything else. That's Raja Yoga. That's why Baba stresses the point. You can forget everything, but you cannot forget this. So you should always consider yourself to be a soul. So everybody wants to change, and also it's time for the change. There is no choice whether you are going to go with a smile on your face or with a crying face. It's up to you, but you have to change. If you change on your own, you will be smilingly leaving this body. If you are forced to change by God and by punishment, then you will be crying while leaving this body. Anyway, you have no choice but to return to home. So it is your desire, everybody's desire. So if you remember these two things, that I'm a hero and zero, only then you will be able to show wonders instead of weakness. So everything you see, you hear, everything will appear as wonder instead of weaknesses, because you are getting detached now. Only when you get attached to everything, that you will start seeing faults and weaknesses of others. When you don't have any attachment towards anybody, your mother, father, wife, brother, anybody, only when you see them as your relative, you will get angry. But when you detach yourself, I'm not even associated with anything or anybody at home. So I'm just a guest here. So that's the last Murli. Be a guest, be a soul. Here Baba says, be a zero, be a hero. So the reason Baba uses these words is for us, it is easy for us to remember that, so that we can uh, make it as a dharana. So once you detach yourself, then whatever gave you the feeling of hatred now gives you the feeling of happiness. So, and that's the reason you have come to Bhatti. You want this magic to happen, right? So, Baba says, cut everything from the soul, your previous sanskars, everything you have to cut it. Only then you will even wonder at your own self, and everything you see will be a magic to you, because the people you have been hating so far will start suddenly appear so nice to you. Just because you get attached to them, they look like enemy to you. Once you detach yourself, you will be just seeing them playing their role, which makes us happy. Even if they shout at us, it's their play. So that's when you start seeing wonders instead of weaknesses. Uh, okay, you continue, brother.
Okay, so here that is correct, brother. Actually, your
Mm,
explanation is very clear,
mm,
and your explanation of the
mm,
message of the divine is very clear. Actually, so I mean, these are the magic words: hero, sorry, zero and hero.
Durant,
Be a zero and be a hero.
yes.
So that's the magic words.
Uh,
So with that magic words, Baba is asking us.
we can repeatedly ask ourselves every minute, am I being a zero? When we speak with our daughter, son, whether my words are coming out when I'm a zero, or am I considering myself to be her father?
Mm,
When you consider yourself to be her father, your words will be different from when you consider yourself to be a zero. Then you will be humble. You will never dominate. You will never try to dominate, and also you will
right,
never get hurt. Only when
right.
you consider yourself to be a father, if for instance she disrespects you, you will get hurt. When we ourselves consider ourselves to be zero, what's there to get hurt? That's the
Absolutely.
reason. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Well
the
said.
reason
Well
Baba
said.
asks us to renounce everything. That's not you.
Correct.
Mm,
So he says, okay, you have come
mm,
here to renounce something,
mm,
and have you renounced it completely, or you have something,
mm.
or you are taking a little of it with you actually?
Yeah.
And if at all you want to renounce something,
If
what have
we
you renounced?
yeah, if we take a little of it, how can we know about it? We will feel hurt. We will no
Yes,
longer feel that happiness and lightness. We will
right.
feel the burden. Then we can be sure that there is something that we should not carry.
Mhm.
Just search it, remove it. That's it. So that's why Baba asks us, calls us a military, spiritual military. So
Mhm.
military service is to find the enemy and remove him. So
Mhm.
our enemy is within us.
Within
We have
us.
to find it and get detached. So that's the thing. It's mentioned here,
The,
brother. Hmm.
the difficult part for everyone is
Hmm.
that to identify the enemies within us.
True.
So,
Hmm.
and once we identify, and identification of the enemies within us itself a task, and sometimes we ourselves unconsciously we will not know, our enemies actually. We will not realize. We will not know that these enemies exist within us actually.
Yeah.
Only
That's
until certain times.
yeah, yeah. The searching machine is to ask this question: whether I'm a zero.
Yes.
If I'm a zero, my words will be different. My attitude will be different. Everything will be different. My thoughts will be different. Will be extremely humble. In Islam, they call themselves as Abdullah, which means the servants of God.
Mhm.
Actually, by servant of God, we are also servant of everybody. We serve
Yeah.
everybody, that's servant. So, servant will automatically be humble.
Yes.
The only being to whom we are master is for ourselves, not for others. We should be the master of our senses, mind, and intellect. So, that's
Mhm.
what Baba says. Okay, brother.
Very nice.
Hmm.
And Baba also says that
Hmm.
what you have renounced and to what extent you have renounced. He's questioning us actually. He's
Yeah,
questioning
whether
the
it's a temporary renounce or
temporary, permanently
permanent
have renounced
renunciation.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes it looks as if we have renounced, but when the situation appears, we get triggered, which means it's hiding somewhere within us. We have to
exactly,
find it. Yeah.
exactly.
Mm.
So once we identify the enemies within us, so we have to cut down. Okay, enemies keep. I mean, okay, we understand that. Okay, this is our enemy. For example, this is the enemy,
Mm.
and we won the enemy. Okay, either what for the first time, okay, we lose to the enemy. For the second time, again we lose to the enemy. For third time, we are cautious, and this time we are not going to. I'm not going to surrender to. I'm not surrendering myself to the enemy. So I'm becoming courage actually, and I win the enemy. And after some, say, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, again there will be some circumstances
Mm.
which will trigger the enemy, I mean, within you, whether it is there. So that point of time we have to understand, we have to realize within ourselves that whether that enemy within me is still there. That is what Baba is asking. Are you still taking a little bit of it with you?
Mm.
Once it is renounced means it should be completely renounced,
And
permanent
permanently.
renounced.
Yes. And the
And
next line is amazing. Have
yeah,
you renounced it through the power of the gathering or with your
gathering.
own power? Because uh, the gathering will definitely give you support. But you shouldn't depend only on the power of the gathering. You can't expect everybody to come to Bhatti all the time, to sit in Bhatti all the time. So you should also have your own power. So we'll be so loving in front of everybody, but we will not be so in our family, with our close ones, which means that's the power of gathering. Even in non BK life, we behave very well at office, but not at home. So
True.
that's the power of gathering. But you should remain the same all the time. You should not depend on the external things for your
But one
character
question,
to change.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Mm.
Even in worldly, life,
Mm.
you said that everyone will behave politely,
Yes,
with humility,
yes,
in front
everybody.
of others actually.
Yes,
But in their personal life, they don't behave
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But that means they are actually acting.
Mm.
They are not. They, they are not as they are actually. In personally, they
No,
are. They don't.
they're not acting, brother. They're not actually. Actually, when they are in front of everybody, automatically that divine quality gets triggered. When they are in front of the family, their devilish quality gets triggered.
Oh,
So
okay,
devilish
okay.
character is there. So that's what we say. It automatically triggers based on the surrounding. But you should never get triggered. It should
Hmm.
always be the divine qualities that should emerge.
So Baba, so Baba has come actually. So for
Mm.
getting his work done with the help of you children, and those who are helpers to Baba in this task are always loved. But in some cases, together with being helpers, you're not courageous. This is what Baba says.
And
That is,
one more thing Baba wants to convey is only those who are helpers will be loved. Only the
correct.
servers will be loved. People think that I love Baba a lot without doing any service. Baba himself is a server. How can he love somebody who is not even interested in service? That he is building the kingdom of heaven. So even in Ramayana, even this Kuril that helps according to its capacity is being loved by Ram. So so that says the importance of being a server to receive
Yes.
God's love. That's very important.
And in
Mm.
addition,
Because
important.
because Baba, God is love. Love is God. God loves everybody. Yes, that's true. But
Yeah.
why doesn't He allow everybody else into heaven? Because they don't take part in His service. So He has special love for Brahmakumaris. Because not for all Brahmakumaris, only those who serve. Even in Brahmakumaris, it is number wise. So
Yes.
if you want Baba to love us all the time, be engaged in service all the time. That's where courage comes. People say thousands of reasons not to take part in seva. They are so brilliant that they even show proof from Murli to stay away from seva. So what can we say? That's why Baba says you need courage. Everybody can find the thousands of reasons not to do seva.
Mhm.
Also, it's true we can find thousands of reasons to do seva. It's like a businessman. Not everybody is doing business because they find thousands of reasons not to do business. It's very risky, it's very scary, we can't depend, too much competition. But those who do business, who venture into that, they say, if they can, I can. If there are thousands of people doing the same business, why can't I be another one? So that's the mentality. It's also a business. We are doing business with God. So the more we engage ourselves in service, the more we get the status in heaven. If we don't do business with God, then how we can't expect anything from Him. So that line is very powerful.
Yes. And
So
some
whether
many.
it's self effort or service, the first thing you need is courage. Baba will take care of the rest. If you come up with thousands of reasons not to do seva or not to do self effort, then we are destroying our own fortune even after getting the bestower of fortune. That's so pathetic. So that's why Baba says, not enough to be helpers, but also you should be courageous because you will receive help. So people
Yeah.
want to do service only when they are called by center, not on their own because it's too risky. Just try to put one step ahead. You will see the help thousandfold from Father.
That is what he says actually.
Yes.
Indirectly, he says in
Hmm.
many Murali he has told actually in many
Yes.
Baba has told in many Murali, if you
Mm.
come one step forward with courage,
Mm.
I'll come 100 steps towards you. Actually,
That's true. That's
so
true.
so courage.
And also you need courage to stay away from everybody, because mind will say, if you detach from others, then who will help you at the time of need?
Mm,
So that's where courage comes. Baba asks whether you are depending on me or the others. Even in
mm,
one Tamil song, there is a song, uh, பிள்ளைக்கு தந்தை ஒருவன் நம் எல்லோருக்கும் தந்தை இறைவன் ஒருவனை நம்பி வந்தாயோ இறைவனை நம்பி வந்தாயோ. So father of a child is one, but God is the father of all of us. Whether you have come believing in that one father or the God. So here God asks us to detach from everybody, not to uh, stop loving others, love, but that love should be detached love. Muslims say Muslims, they befriend Hindus. They help their friends in every way, except that they won't uh, take part in their prayers. They won't accept
correct.
food that's worshipped by to Hindu deities. Sorry, I can't do that. Nobody gets angry with them. We understand that there is something they believe in. Nonetheless, they are ready to help us. Just like that, we are doing everything. But when it comes to something against him, sorry, I can't do that. Nobody is going to hate you for that. They are going to love you for that the moment they realize it is God who teaches us in the end. But on the other hand, if we say yes to them, that's against Srimad, the very person who made you do that, made you come out of Srimad, is going to blame you, saying, you know God, it is your responsibility to say me about God. I don't know God, so that's why I behaved like that. Why did you accept that? You should have refused. They will ask us. So that's
They will
where
blame
you
us
need
actually.
courage. Yes, say, brother.
They will blame us actually.
Sure, sure. They
Yeah.
will definitely blame you, whether it's purity or anything, eating non-veg, for everything they will blame you. That shouldn't happen. That's the thing. So, how
Mm.
can we develop that courage? Baba says, surrender yourself. I am
Yes.
responsible for you. You are not doing it anything on your own. Baba makes me do that, so he will take care of the consequences. Why should I bother? So that's where courage is needed, because he is invisible. But we are ready to believe the visible man who is perishable. But we are not ready to believe in the invisible who is imperishable, who comes in a fraction of a second. So that's where the faith comes.
Yes.
So it's the faith that determines your status. Okay, brother. So you have to surrender to have courage. That's the true
Yes.
surrender. Yes, brother.
Uh, there is a connectivity
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
So help us. It's not
Mm.
only help
Mm.
us with courage, and
Yes.
courage comes by surrendering yourself
Surrendering yourself.
at every moment.
Mm. That's why we are
At,
called Mahavirs. We are not fighting with anybody with sword.
Mm.
Instead, we are courageous enough to stay alone. None but one. That's our motto. We have, of course, we'll be loving to others, but attachment is only with Baba. Everything else is detached love. That's it. Mm.
and Baba says, those who surrender themselves have greater courage. And so, the more you surrender yourselves, the more you'll become, the more you'll come close. in the garland around Baba's neck.
Yes.
So courage is one thing. Courage is very important. And those who surrender themselves have greater courage. And so, the more you surrender yourselves, the more you'll come close in the garland around Baba's neck, closer to Baba, close and close to Baba actually.
Yeah.
You now surrender yourself and then you will become a garland around God's neck. So if you surrender yourself and then perform actions, you'll make others surrender automatically by their own wish. You don't have to do anything. They are the ones who are called heirs.
Yes.
Like in worldly, uh, matters. We have many millionaires, multi-millionaires. They have heirs, right? So their son or their daughter, they have heirs. So like this, if with being a helper with courage, and if you surrender yourselves, the more you surrender yourself, the more you'll come close to God's garland. Actually, I mean, the more close, I mean, you'll come close in the garland around Baba's neck, and you now surrender yourself, and you become a garland around God's neck. If
Yes.
you surrender yourself, and if you surrender yourself and then perform actions, you'll make others also surrender
Yeah.
by their own wish
Mm.
automatically. You don't have to do anything. That's what indirectly he says, I think. And
Yeah.
they are the ones who are called hashs. So now make plans to create hashs.
Yes.
Acha, that's
Actually,
what I
actually, that's the reason people put flowers to God. So that actually means that flower is us surrendering ourselves, becoming pure. We don't have our own dictates. Baba is saying, I'm just doing. I'm just an instrument. So that's the courage. So only the courageous children will become the garland around God's neck. So they are the true heirs. And once you do actions by surrendering yourself, that is by being courageous, on seeing you, others will also start doing the actions. For example, if you do seva in YouTube, people on seeing you will get inspired and also will start doing it automatically. They just want somebody to do that. If nobody is doing that, they will think, oh, maybe it's against him because that's how we are brainwashed. So when they see people doing extraordinary seva
Mm.
in YouTube individually, then they will also be inspired to do it. That's how Baba's message will be spread to everybody because we are all Brahma's arms. So every arm should be doing some sort of service. We should be engaged in some sort of service. Only then the kingdom of heaven will be built soon. If we want somebody to call us, only then I will do seva, then somebody else will take that fortune. Because it's not service, it is our fortune. We are creating our own fortune. So just by seeing us, they will also be tempted to do service. So that's how we become here, and we also make others become here. So thank you so
Yeah.
much for spending your valuable time, brother. Om Shanti.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much,
Thank.
brother.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank you so much.
everybody, for watching this
Thank
so
you, everybody.
patiently.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, brother.